few days ago, I was doing something I shouldn't have been doing. I was digging through an old corrupted folder on my PC from an unlisted, deleted Gorilla Tag fan game from a couple of years ago. Most of the files were completely broken, but buried deep inside the asset directory, I found a notepad titled "Do Not Enter." I opened it expecting a developer joke or blank page. Instead, it only contained one thing, an 8-character server code with written in all capital letters. Now, if you play Gorilla Tag for as long as I have, you know that community myths are haunted, and haunted server codes are usually completely fake, just stories made up for views. I figured this was exactly that, a dumb Easter egg left behind by the developer. So I booted up my headset, walked over to the tree stump computer, and I typed the exact same code in, and I hit enter. Looking back, I should have just deleted that folder and forgot about it. When my screen loaded, I spawned into the forest map. At first glance, everything looked completely normal. The trees were where they're supposed to be, the lighting was fine, and the textures weren't glitched. But within 5 seconds, a wave of pure uncease hit me. The audio was completely dead. I didn't mean it was quiet, I mean it was dead. There was no ambient wind noises, no bird sounds, and when I clapped my hands against the ground, it didn't make a single noise. The game was entirely muted. I checked my headset volume, but it was turned all the way up. I walked over to the leaderboard to see if I was lagging out, but my name wasn't even listed on the leaderboard. The leaderboard was definitely entirely blank, except for the top row. Under the player count, it didn't say 1. It didn't even use normal numbers. It was just a string of red glitch symbols indicating a player count of 2. When I realized I wasn't alone in the server, I started to get this overwhelming feeling of being watched, like eyes were locked onto the back of my neck. I decided I wanted out, so I started running towards the tunnel to go back to Stump and disconnect. But as I rounded the corner near Canyon's entry, I heard it. I stopped dead in my tracks. I looked over the edge. Standing perfectly at the very bottom of the canyon was a monkey model, but it wasn't a normal player. It was a completely matty gray color. It had no cosmetics, and it didn't have a player name tag above it. But the creepiest part was how it moved. It didn't use its arm to bounce or jump. Its arms stayed completely stiff as its sides if it was just gliding across the floor, moving at an impossible speed, and its head was snapped completely backwards, staring directly up at me through the geometry of the map. Pure panic set in. I didn't care if I was a hacker. I didn't care if it was a hacker, a glitch, or something else. I just needed to turn off my headset. I turned around and sprinted back toward the tree stump, branching across the map as my fast arms could possibly move. I hear that scraping noise getting louder and faster right behind me, echoing through the empty forest. I dove through the tunnel and smashed my hands against the computer keys to a random public code, but the monitor was completely black. It wouldn't accept any inputs. The scraping noise stopped right outside the tunnel entrance. I looked up from the computer, and the gray model was standing right there at the edge of the room. It slowly raised one of its stiff arms and pointed directly at me. The second its finger lined up with my camera view, my headset screen violently flickered, flashed bright red, and the entire game crashed back to my PC desktop. When my computer rebooted, I immediately went back into my files to delete that document, but when I opened the directory, the "Do Not Enter" file was completely missing. It was like it never existed. I don't know who made that fan game, and I don't know what was hosting that server. If you ever find an old file with a hidden code, please do yourself a favor and leave it alone. Like and subscribe if you want to see me investigate more band codes, and stay safe out there, guys.